His lips were on mine before I even realized how close we had gotten. One moment we were sitting on the couch, a glass of wine between us. The next my hand was resting against his chest and his mouth was moving hungrily over mine. I should have stopped him. I should have remembered the vows I made, the ring that still glimmered faintly on my left hand. But that night, loneliness outweighed guilt, and my body betrayed every rational thought. It was supposed to be nothing, just company for a night when the silence in my house became unbearable. My husband was gone on another business trip, his absence stretching longer each time, leaving me to rattle around in an empty home. The walls seemed to mock me with their quiet, reminding me of everything missing in my marriage. So I had knocked on his door, Daniel's door. Daniel was my tenant, the young man renting the basement apartment. 23, polite, with the kind of easy charm that made people trust him. He always offered to carry my groceries, always smiled when our paths crossed in the driveway. And though I told myself I was too old for him, too married for him, I couldn't ignore the way his eyes lingered just a little too long. The first time his lips softened when he said my name. It was not under the safety of four walls. I invited him in with the excuse of sharing a drink. Of the forest, just one drink, clung to the I told myself, and the breeze carried secrets only we dared. But as the minutes slipped by, his kiss and the wine was hesitant at first. Like I found myself laughing in ways with a hunger that mirrored my own. His stories lit up the room. As I held his attention felt like and the sound of our breaths tangled with the rustle of leaves. He made me feel seen. I had told myself 1,000 times that I wouldn't give in. That I craved I was them older, married, then came that moment, to know better. The one where the air shifted. Our forest. I reached to set my glass on the table, of my logic, my hand brushing his, and suddenly the tension was electric. His eyes flickered to my lips, and my breath caught in my throat. I should have leaned away. Instead, I leaned closer. The kiss started tentative, almost questioning, but the instant our mouths met, heat surged through me like fire catching dry leaves. His hands slid up my arms, pulling me closer, and I let out a sound I hadn't heard from myself in years, a sigh of pure want. My fingers tangled in his shirt, tugging him deeper into me, as though I had been waiting all along for this moment to happen. When we pulled apart for air, my heart raced so wildly I thought it might burst. His eyes searched mine, wide and uncertain, as if asking if this was real. I answered him by pressing my lips back to his, harder this time, my body arching toward him. We stumbled together onto the couch, our kisses urgent, greedy. His hands explored my waist, my back, the curve of my hips, and everywhere he touched, sparks ignited. My skin burned under his palms, and I couldn't get enough of him. "Are you sure?" he whispered against my mouth, his breath ragged. "No," I whispered back, "but I don't care." And I didn't. Not that night. The world outside ceased to exist. There was no husband, no marriage, no guilt, only the two of us wrapped up in a storm of passion we couldn't resist. He kissed me with the hunger of youth, with the kind of devotion that made me feel beautiful again, alive again. My body responded to his as though it had been waiting for him, craving him in ways I couldn't deny. The minutes blurred into hours as we gave in to each other, our whispered names and breathless laughter filling the empty house. The loneliness that had haunted me for so long was gone, replaced by heat, by desire, by the undeniable connection sparking between us. Later, when the fire had slowed to a soft glow, we lay tangled together on the couch. His arm wrapped around me, his chest rising and falling steadily beneath my cheek. I traced small circles on his skin, my mind spinning with everything that had just happened. I knew it was wrong. I knew the weight of what I had done would settle heavily in the morning. But in that moment, I didn't want to think about consequences. I only wanted to hold on to the feeling he had given me, the feeling of being wanted, cherished, adored. "You don't regret it, do you?" he asked softly, his voice cautious, as if afraid of the answer. I closed my eyes, breathing him in. Not tonight. The truth was, I had been drowning in loneliness for so long that I had forgotten what it felt like to be touched with reverence, kissed with fire. My marriage had become an arrangement, a hollow shell of what it once was. And though I knew this night with Daniel wouldn't fix the cracks in my life, it had reminded me I was still a woman, still capable of desire, still alive. As the night wore on, we drifted in and out of sleep, waking only to kiss again, to lose ourselves in each other once more. It felt like we were clinging to a secret world that only existed for the two of us, a fragile, fleeting paradise we both knew couldn't last. But when dawn crept through the curtains, casting pale light across the room, I didn't want to let go. His hand was still in mine, his body warm beside me, and for once, I didn't wake up to an empty bed. That morning, when he finally rose to leave, he paused at the door, his gaze lingering on me. "If you ever need me again," he began, but he didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to, because I already knew I would. One lonely night had changed everything. My tenant was no longer just the young man living downstairs. He was my secret, my escape, my danger. And though guilt waited for me in the daylight, I couldn't deny it. Deep down, I knew that night was only the beginning.